Welcome to Before the Score, episode number 29. I'm Steve Samra. We're going to do things a little different today. We're going to start off the show with your questions. I don't think we've ever done that yet, so let's go to the first one. And the first one comes from Mikey Ferro. And he says, do all sports start and finish their season on the expected end date?
Well, thank you guys for joining us on Before the Score, episode number 29. That's a very interesting question, Mikey. Number one, I hope that all sports start and end on the dates that they are supposed to. But just the way, the whole world has kind of, gone upside down these last few months, there's nothing that you can say is a definite. And as much as I would like to say yes, for example, the baseball season is starting up in a few weeks, it should be ending at a time, around November. I really don't know. You get what I'm saying? And for like another sport like the NBA or hockey, could they really afford to start up a season again to only stop it again? I really don't know. But for my sake, I do hope that it does start and end on time.
With his question, I assume like you mean like football and college, college football, because the NBA and if whatever with the NHL goes on, it's such a short season. We have no idea. But I'm still not optimistic these seasons start on time. I don't know if the NBA is going to start on time. You look at what Florida. I know it's a bubble and like how Disney World, no one comes in, no one comes out. But like Florida's got 10,000 cases today. Like that's a huge number that you can't just ignore and expect everything to be okay with all these sports. So like when it comes to NFL starting on time, I don't know if that's even possible. I know Roger Goodell is going to try to pull something out of his ass and really get this going because there's so much money to be made. But I'm not even optimistic about NHL and NBA even starting a season.
Well, you look at each sport, and they're all kind of different in their own way. I think I'm really confident in the NBA and NHL finishing their season on the set dates that they have, only because it's a lot less they have to do, and the season already started, so they're just playing the latter half of the season. They're playing the playoffs. For baseball, it's a little bit more murkier because they have less to lose because they're not in the middle of a season. The NHL and NBA, if they start the season on time, I think they have to finish on time too, because you can't stop for a second time and just halt it and then have to re-ramp up and then retry the playoffs. If they have to get canceled again halfway through this for the NHL and the NBA, I think they're just going to scrap the season.
Yeah, I think you guys make good points about the NHL and NBA just having to finish their season as opposed to other leagues having to start their whole thing. I think that the NHL took a fantastic approach by going to Canada to finish their season, going to Edmonton, going to these cities that don't have the spikes that the U.S. are having. And the NBA, they're in a little bit of a predicament with Florida being kind of the new epicenter of this virus. But I think that both these leagues are going to finish on time. I would be surprised if they don't even start on time. I'm actually pretty confident in these two leagues being started at the end of July and NHL is around August and finishing up around November-ish. I think that the NHL is what I'm most confident in. I would probably put that at 100%. Yeah. I think that's going to go on. The NBA, let's put it around 94%. That sounds like a good number. Football, honestly, I'm going to put that at 100. I think that the NFL is going to go off. College football, on the other hand, though, that one's a little scary to me. And then, of course, the MLB. You never know, but I think baseball will be fine. But I think we might see some teams not starting or finishing in their home locations, like they talked about other, like the Mets or Yankees or something. But not the Mets or Yankees now because New York has been so good with the virus. Maybe the Miami Marlins have to move somewhere.
Well, what I think is very interesting about baseball compared to the other two sports that you mentioned with basketball and with hockey, baseball is played outdoors, which is very, very different. It's not contained like, obviously for the NHL and for NBA. I'm not sure where exactly they're going to be playing, what kind of arena it is, but it's going to be more of an enclosed thing. So if somebody does have it, the spread of the virus is more,
Well, you have to think about it also in terms of like contact, and baseball is a lot less more of a contact sport than the NHL, NBA, NFL are. So that on its own just sets it apart as the least risky. And they also have expanded rosters. Not a lot of like NFL teams and NBA teams going to have a 60-man taxi squad ready to go if one of these major players gets like sick and has to miss 3 weeks.
My Ralph Lauren buddy over here, he makes a very good point. We both rocking the Ralph, But anyway, what my point is here is college football. I just don't see that as any case and scenario where college football is held on time. And if I think by the spring, they're speculating a cure possibly. I mean, that's very optimistic still. But if there is a cure before the start of the spring, then you could assume that college football would be a spring sport for the time being, which would be very weird to a lot of people. But in the fall, you see the news with Oklahoma, Clemson, all Alabama, like all these big schools that started their camps are all have people testing positive, like almost 20 people. And that is a giant number, part of the team, especially of the players. So when it comes to college football, I have no faith in that whatsoever, from even starting or ending at all.
In college football, of course, they need the attendance revenue, not the TV money, as they don't get as much of a cut as that. So if there is no attendance for college football, then there's really not a point to play it without fans.
Oh, yeah.
So the NFL is on a little different of a playing scale with the TV money. But we'll see what happens, of course, on Before the Score. We're optimistic because we need sports back pretty soon. But our next question comes from Bobby Krepik. Pablo, I'm going to throw this to you because he says, do you think hashtag speaking out can hurt the wrestling industry as much as the Chris Benoit tragedy? It's a
No.
loaded question there.
No, and that's a very interesting question by Bobby Krepik. Honestly, with this whole speaking out thing, it's very different from the Chris Benoit tragedy. I mean, number one, with the Chris Benoit tragedy, you're looking at somebody who murdered and, brutally murdered his entire family. He took the life of himself, and he completely he shamed his entire name, his entire legacy by doing what he did. For something like the speaking out thing, I understand that a lot of people are coming forward, with their stories, and I applaud them for their stories. But at the end of the day, I do think that it is kind of helping the industry, because it is weeding out those people who do need to seek help, those people who do need they need to pay for what they've done. And for certain people, like let's say a Samuel Guevara from AEW, he said something stupid 4 years ago. I don't agree with what he said 4 years ago, but as a person, in 4 years, especially when you're 18, you grow. You grow you grow a lot as a person. So I do think that it should be taken serious, but if it's something where it's something somebody said and something, not something they did, I do think that it should be taken to a different extreme.
Yeah, I do think that's very well said there. I think that they're kind of on a different plane of existence, these two things. And it's tough to compare tragedies because, of course, they're completely different tragedies. But the Chris Benoit tragedy was it's just a stain on a wrestler's legacy, on WWE's legacy, on their WrestleManias, on just the history of wrestling. This will be, but of course it's on a lower scale. Dan, Andrew, I know you guys, everybody's heard of the Chris Benoit thing. I don't even know if you guys have heard about this speaking out movement in pro wrestling.
No, not really.
It is mostly indie wrestlers, but they are just coming out with their stories of sexual abuse and stuff like that. And because the wrestling locker room has been a pretty toxic place back in the day. And even nowadays in some parts of the industry, it has been a rough place for people to kind of grow into. And I'm just glad that they're getting out these abusers and these people that don't really deserve, and they give the wrestling industry that bad name. And I think in the long run, this will be a positive. I don't think you can ever view the Chris Benoit tragedy as a positive.
No, it's never going to be a positive. And the one thing that gets me with the speaking out thing, and it's not just for wrestling, it's for everything in general. If you accuse somebody of doing what they did, I would hope that they did it. You get what I'm saying? Don't say something only to tarnish that person's legacy or to tarnish their character. So if I accuse somebody, best believe that I think that they did it, or I know they did it to me, obviously. Mm-hmm. So I'm very against somebody just accusing just to accuse, and I believe people who do that should go away.
Yeah, false accusations
Yes.
are just as bad as doing the real thing, because that can ruin someone's life.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Justin Bieber is suing somebody for $20 million right now. Our next question comes from PK Patel, and he wants our thoughts on Cam Newton signing with the New England Patriots and how he's going to do there. Who wants to take that one?
Well, we mentioned it many times in this podcast, how that's the perfect fit for Cam, and how there's no reason for them not to. If he can get Cam's dollar figure down, which they did, they have a very incentive-driven contract for Cam. So this is a win-win for both sides. Cam, he's made plenty of money. He's an MVP. Money really isn't an issue. He needs to rebuild his reputation in the league. He needs to rebuild his value to get that multi-year deal. And this is the perfect place to do it. There's no bigger question mark besides maybe Tyrod Taylor in LA at the quarterback position than Jarrett Stidham with the Patriots. So you look at that, and that's an opportunity where he can start week 1. He could start week 5, and he'll get a chance to play no matter what, as long as he's healthy. So that can really help him out.
Yeah, I think the Patriots was where he should have went. I wouldn't say it's a perfect fit. I mean, you look at Cam with his time with the Panthers, and what Ron Rivera did there was they built the entire offense around Cam Newton. Like, that was their plan, and it worked. You know, they went to a Super Bowl, had a great season. But when you look at the scope of the New England Patriots, it wasn't built around Tom Brady. Bill Belichick has his own system, and you know for damn sure if Cam Newton's going there, he ain't changing his system. Cam Newton has to adapt to that new system. And I think why I'm saying it's good for him to go there is because he could show these other NFL teams that he wants to get larger scale contracts from in the future, that he has that versatility, that he could change his gameplay to fit into any scheme. He still has it. He's coming back to he's coming to the Patriots so he could prove to himself that he's such a good player still.
And you look at the Patriots historically with their quarterbacks that have come in, like Jacoby Brissett, Brian Hoyer, these I don't want to say scrubs, but almost some scrubs who have won games for the Patriots and put up decent numbers in that McDaniel system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cam Newton, I really think that this will be a good career move for him because in the first time in Bill Belichick's career in a long time, he's trying to prove something. Cam Newton's trying to prove something. I think they're both going to fit in well with each other. Bill Belichick knows what it's like to be, surprisingly, Bill Belichick does know what it's like to be thrown on his ass and said, you don't got it anymore. You're not worth it. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. The Browns fired him. The Jets wanted him. Andrew, I won't get into that for you, but Cam Newton and Bill Belichick, I think they could be a good matchup together, and I think Bill Belichick will get the best out of Cam Newton because he knows how Cam Newton feels right now. He knows that Cam Newton feels like people don't believe in him. He wants to gain that respect, and I think that will work out for them in the end. And, of course, he's the greatest coach of all time, too, and Cam Newton isn't no slouch. Jarrett Stidham, I am a fan of his talent. I think he's going to be a good quarterback eventually. I did think it was a little soon to give him the reins to the franchise, so I think this is a great move for the Patriots.
Well, I do have something a little bit different to add. Remember a few weeks ago when I said that Cam Newton would be the guy to sign first before a guy like Colin Kaepernick?
Your favorite
player? No, but the thing with this, like I did state, it is a what have you done for me lately? Now I understand that Cam Newton hasn't been the best player recently, but he has played in the National Football League, within the last year or two. So this guy, he definitely, whatever his issues are or whatever his weaknesses are, can definitely be addressed, especially with a very talented team like the New England Patriots, a very, very superior head coach in Bill Belichick. But the thing and the question I have for you guys is, how crazy would it be if Cam Newton and the New England Patriots were to win a Super Bowl with Bill Belichick? What would that say about Tom Brady? Would it diminish his whole legacy? I mean, when something like that would happen, you would kind of say, you know what, Tom, you were great, but I think you were great because of the big guy on top of you, the big guy who was overlooking you. And I do think if something like that were to happen with the New England Patriots and this guy can take them very far, I think that's just more of a credit to the kind of beast coach that Bill Belichick is.
You could say the same thing about Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay. Was Bill Belichick, it wasn't all him, it was Tom Brady. If he goes and wins a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay Buccaneers, then it's the complete reverse. So they both have that certain thing that they're fighting for. But to speak on this move, I wouldn't put them still as favorites in the division. I still have the Bills as the favorites in the division this year. I think the Patriots are going to be a 7-9 to 8-8 team, which is good for a team like the Jets because Trevor Lawrence isn't going to be a New England Patriot at the end of the day. So I think this move for Cam Newton on a one-year deal is not that bad for you.
Well, I want to touch on this. You think that Cam Newton's going to come in there and they're going to be 7-9, 8-8, and you still think the Bills are the favorites with Josh Allen?
Yes.
I am surprised
100%.
at that. I would give you Stidham with Cam Newton. If he's the starting quarterback, if he comes in through whatever kind of training camp they have, he adjusts the offense well, he's far and away the best quarterback in that division.
Yeah, I don't care what kind of rust he has on him because he hasn't really played a lot lately. If he's healthy at least, I think Bill will get enough out of that team, out of that quarterback to at least do better than the Bills because I'm not nearly as high on the Bills as anyone else here. I know you're not even that high on the Bills, but I think I'm even lower on the Bills than you are.
Well, you're lower on Josh Allen, too.
Let's look at the New England Patriots offense and compare it to the Buffalo Bills offense. Yes, you had Cam Newton, but who the hell is on that team? You have Julian Edelman, and then after that, who? Like you have no one on that offense.
James White.
Don't sleep
Okay.
on the
They're not gonna work-
a Josh McDaniels
They're not.
scheme.
They're not going
that
to
can
work
scheme
as
people
well
open.
with Tom Brady with those running backs.
Oh
Cam
no,
Newton doesn't work
they're
as
not,
well
but
with running
it's
backs.
a different. The Patriots' offensive line was not built for Tom Brady last year, and you saw that, and he had his worst career year. And
So you're telling
I'm not
me
saying he's going to put up better numbers. I'm not saying that Cam Newton's going to bring a different asset to that team than what they had last year with
Cam Newton's
43-year-old Tom Brady.
obviously going to have to do some more scrambling and bootlegs, but we just saw him get injured
But
last
you
year, so we don't know his health
You look
when
at,
it
you
comes
look
to a
at,
terrible
look at the
offensive
Panthers'
line.
offense when they're clicking, and it's a lot of Christian McCaffrey and a lot of dump offs, and that's the James White role. That's the Josh McDaniels scheme that I think Cam fits in better than people think, even as a pocket passer.
I would not sleep on N'Keal Harry either, former first-round pick. This guy was a beast at Arizona State, and he needed a year. He was injured last year. You can throw away his rookie year, rip it up, doesn't count, doesn't matter. He's going to come in. He's going to have a good year this year with Josh McDaniels. He's going to give Cam some help. Also, Cam Newton has proved his entire career he can do well on offense without the weapons that you need to have a humming
Kelvin
offense.
Benjamin.
They went 15-1, one of the best offenses in the last 10 years. Almost won the Super Bowl. Can you name one of his wide receivers that year?
He just named two of them, but that was
Ted Ginn. Who else?
And Kelvin Benjamin.
Kelvin Benjamin.
Kelvin Benjamin wasn't on that team. He tore his ACL that year.
Okay, but he's all right. Anyway,
on the
that was
reserve.
Cam Newton in his prime when he won an MVP. This is 5 years in the future now. We're here. So
And he just
this
had a
isn't-
whole year off.
Okay, because he was injured. He's an injury-prone quarterback now.
I have to see it. I have to see him be actually healthy. Like the talent-wise, I think he'll be just fine in the Patriots. But I think like injury, I don't know if he could hold up 16
I think
games.
he's going to less talent.
That's the bigger question.
He's going to less talent on the offense than he was with the Panthers.
Well, the
And we
Panthers
saw
had
him with the
McCaffrey.
Panthers in the last couple of years, and they haven't done squat. So you see Kyle Allen come in, and he has some good weeks, and it looked better than Cam Newton. So I am not too sure to say right now that this is a playoff caliber team.
Well, Cam Newton played 2 games last year, so of course Kyle Allen looked better than him in some
Cam
of the
Newton
games.
wasn't
he
healthy
played in.
for like
the whole
9 of those quarters.
Exactly.
But going back to the Buffalo Bills, the one thing that they were missing was that deep threat. And you add Stephon Diggs, who is a top 20 receiver in this league and a very big deep ball threat. I think this is going to really gel well with their offense.
with a quarterback who has no accuracy.
He has the
throwing
best
him the
arm.
ball.
He has the best arm, I guess, range in the NFL.
So-
More than Patrick Mahomes. His arm's better.
Safety over the top, and Stephon Diggs might get shut down. I do like the Bills' receiving core. I'll give you that. That is a great receiving core. You have Stephon Diggs, who can stretch the field. You have Cole Beasley, who can go under the field. You also have John Brown, who can also stretch the field, just as good as Stephon Diggs.
It's a lot of receivers for someone who's never in high school, in college, and in the NFL, starting for 300 yards.
I don't know. When you look
A
at,
lot of wasted talent. On
I'd even take the Bills' defense over the Patriots' defense
Also,
right now.
their running back, Devin Singletary. Now, I'm a big fan of Devin Singletary, but I don't know if he can carry the load running the football all season, all
and
16
they
games.
lost a savvy vet, Frank Gore.
Yes.
Don't forget about that.
Yeah.
Frank Gore was good for the
45-year-old
Bills last
Frank
year.
Gore.
That was his best year in probably the last 5 years. Maybe he'll have a good year for the Jets. But like I'm saying, I'm just not that sold on Josh Allen. He has flashes.
He gets a lot of hype from like that Cowboys game and a couple of games where he ran like crazy, but like passing wise, I haven't seen.
Oh,
it
he's
yet.
terribly inaccurate. I'm not disputing that,
And
but it's his
he's
second. It
never
was his
gonna have a
second
better
year.
running year than he had last year. So if he doesn't improve on passing, then where is
he's
his
probably
numbers gonna
going to.
improve?
He's probably
I don't
going
know
to
if he's
improve
going
on
to.
passing.
And one thing about Josh Allen is he still has never beaten the New England Patriots. And
Okay,
I
until
don't
this
think
year.
that's going to change this year. I'm telling you, Bill Belichick just has his
The
number.
Patriots and their dynasty is something that I can't put an axe in until I see them actually have an 8-8, 7-9 season.
Until you see it with your own eyes, you
I've
can't
I've
believe
heard
it.
this conversation too many times. I know Tom Brady's gone, but they've looked just fine without Tom Brady in the few games that they've had to play without him.
I promise you, they're 8-8 at best.
Oh, we'll see. That's a hot take right there. Pablo, on your legacy question, I just wanted to say their legacies are independent of each other, too. They could both go out there. Who would want to see a Tom Brady versus Bill Belichick Super Bowl either?
Me.
Okay, maybe you. But as far as Super Bowl matchups go, if your favorite team's not in it, you could do a lot worse than that.
No.
Tarek Al-Casey wants to know who our top 5 QBs are 5 years from now.
Okay. So
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick
Patty,
Mahomes is at least everybody should
Lamar
be
Jackson.
Lamar.
All right.
5 years from now,
Danny
you
Dimes,
can't-
I'll give it to
you're not,
you.
You're not putting
Wait.
Russell Wilson. You're not putting Aaron Rodgers in there because they'll be in the latter halves of their career.
Aaron Rodgers definitely not. Russell Wilson's
Maybe, but
still
probably
could be.
5 years. I don't know if he's a top 5 quarterback.
I'll tell you what. I'm putting Patrick Mahomes, of course. I'm putting Trevor Lawrence in that top 5.
I'm putting Joe Burrow.
You can.
I think regardless of
Making an
where he
argument for both
goes,
of
he's
them.
going to be a top 5
I'm
quarterback.
not
If he's
put-
on the
I'm not-
Jaguars-
I'm not there yet.
If he's on the Jaguars,
I'm
I
not-
have no
I'm
hope
not
in
there yet.
Trevor
The
Lawrence.
Jaguars have a lot of draft picks, and they're building up
Okay,
that
so we
team.
have
They're
so we
young.
have 2 definites. I have a third definite, Sam Darnold. Okay, definite.
Okay.
Yeah,
How about we
I
leave our
don't know.
favorite
All right,
quarterbacks
Daniel
out of
Jones
this?
in there too. I'll
Let's-
throw you a bone.
Let's leave
No.
Darnold,
Deshaun
Jones,
Watson.
Danny
and
Dimes.
Baker
I'll put
Mayfield and
Watson
Kirk
in.
Cousins. out of
Deshaun,
this.
Deshaun Watson.
All right, because I know you guys are going to say it. Just say it. Just say the Kyler Murray.
I'm not going to say
I-
Kyler
look,
Murray.
Look, I already know you guys are going there. Look, I see Dan. He wanted to say Kyler Murray. It was on the tip of his
Honestly-
I
tongue.
haven't gotten to that point yet.
Kyler Murray,
Honestly-
top 5? Oh, my
honestly-
ass.
Honestly,
I hope you're
top
not going to
5
say Kyler
in
Murray.
fantasy maybe.
No, I wouldn't even give you that. Top 5 years, Cliff Kingsbury's on the street. Kyler Murray's might be playing baseball.
I think you're a little low on him. I think you're a little low because you're jealous that he's better than your quarterback right now.
He's not. Daniel Jones had a better rookie year than Kyler Murray.
I'm going to have a hot take here.
How about
I
that?
could see, I know I'm going to get scolded for this, I could see Drew Lock as a top 5 quarterback in the league in 5 years.
I'm a Drew Lock fan. You're
I'm
not
a
getting
fan.
scolded.
I'm
but
not that big. I'm not
but
that big
that-
of a fan.
Listen, I'm not going to put him in the top 5.
No,
but I'm
I-
a Drew Lock fan.
Look, he has a lot. I'm not saying he's a definite to be in the top 5, but look at his potential. Look at his offense. The defense is getting a lot better. The Broncos are going to be a very good team this coming year, and for 5 years to progress, I can see that.
Let's put Squinton Winston in the top 5,
Fuck
taking
it,
over
I'm
the
in.
Saints
I'm
offense. What would you think about
Oh,
that?
what about Taysom Hill, top 5?
Taysom Hill might be the franchise quarterback of the Saints in 5 years. Who knows?
I'll tell you something about Squinton Winston, Aqib Talib, whatever the hell you want to call him.
Aqib Talib.
What was that?
Is that? I think
Are you just saying names that come to mind?
names that rhyme.
Whatever the hell you want to call him. I don't think in 5
Fine.
years this guy even has a job in the NFL.
I don't think we'd be calling him Aqib Talib.
This is funny because I remember from a few years ago we had that Madden League, and I was so bad at that game. But I forgot who had Aqib Talib. I think it was Sal, and he was amazing with Aqib Talib. And I just think that's one of the funniest names.
What position
ever.
does Aqib Talib play?
Come on, bro.
What is he?
Come on, bro. He's a cornerback. Come on, dude.
Okay.
All right, yeah. So my top 5, we'll go over it real quick. Patrick Mahomes,
Yes.
Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson. I'm going to put Carson Wentz in there, and maybe Russell Wilson.
I hate that
I
top
was
5.
thinking-
Oh my
Russell Wilson,
God.
Carson Wentz. I look.
Russell
I'm
Wilson
a big Carson
might be
Wentz guy,
retired
so
in
I
5
can't,
years.
I
You don't
can't,
know that.
Unbiasedly, I don't think you could put Carson Wentz in there, but me personally, I think I'll put him.
I wouldn't put Carson Wentz in there. I wouldn't put Russell Wilson in there. And
Deshaun Watson has to be in the top
he's one of my
5.
favorite players in the entire league. I don't know if you can put Lamar Jackson in there yet. Honestly. I don't think so yet.
Well, he's one of those players where 5 years from now, he could be a completely different player.
5 years ago, you would have put Cam Newton
He's
number 1.
the kind of player who can go from MVP to like borderline like top 15
If he
guy
gets injured
in a couple
you
years.
know,
if
that's
he
all I'm
loses
saying.
that elite running ability, then you don't know.
I mean, look, that's in
5
every,
years is a
that's
while
in
for a
every
running
sport. I
quarterback.
mean, who's to say that the top 5 players aren't even in the league right now?
I think he's earned the spot now, but you can't be that. You can't like lock it in like you can Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, the only one I really think you can lock in is Patrick Mahomes. That's the lock right there. Because if he is not the best quarterback in 5 years, there is something wrong.
I think Deshaun Watson should be a lock as well.
I just don't trust them building a good team around Deshaun Watson.
He's too talented. I don't know.
I'm worried about how he's gonna look this year with that offense.
And I just had somebody come to mind.
Baker Mayfield, obviously.
not
yeah.
Baker
I think
Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield's a definite top 5, but obviously
Definite?
not
Definite.
definite.
He's not even a top 15
I think
now.
This coming year he'll be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
I wouldn't even go there, honestly.
Statistically.
I think he'll be the 4th best quarterback in his division.
They're gonna be a running team.
He's gonna
Yeah,
be the 4th
Joe
best quarterback
Burrow's
in
gonna
his
be better
division.
than him on the
Yes,
Cincinnati
I'm
Bengals.
taking Joe Burrow.
Look,
How much money
Not
can
as
I
a
put on the
rookie.
table to bet that
Five-
Baker
5
Mayfield
years
is a
from
better
now-
season than
Dan,
Joe Burrow?
5 years from now, I think Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Baker
I think
Mayfield.
much
Look,
I think
better.
next year Baker's a
Look,
better
Dan,
quarterback.
right?
He's a third
With a
year
guy like
quarterback.
Baker Mayfield,
Oh yeah, Pablo. Let me hear it.
look,
Let
this
me
guy
hear it.
this guy is loaded with the talent around him.
Okay.
And he still can't get it done. Who's to
2
say
years
that in
in the
5 years this dude
There's
has
other factors.
he has a crappy team, and whoever he throws it up to isn't going to make the catch,
You can say
or
that
his
about
head coach.
any quarterback in the league, man.
I'm just saying.
He
That's
had a
what-
bottom 5
I'm just
offensive
saying.
line last year. The head coach
But when you
did
talk
not bring a
when you
good
talk
culture
about
in.
a player and you try to predict the next 5 years, you would kind of think that player is already kind of good right now. Baker Mayfield stinks. He's full of himself.
You put Trevor Lawrence in there.
No, I didn't. I didn't say his name.
You said Joe Burrow, and he hasn't played a snap yet.
Yeah, he hasn't played a snap, and he's on
You're
the worst
saying that
team
Baker
in
hasn't had a
football.
good year yet.
Listen,
Neither is Joe Burrow.
He didn't say either of those guys. He said Aqib Talib.
He said Joe Burrow and Aqib Talib.
Look.
Yeah,
When you guys are just throwing out names there, I was throwing out names of the young guys who
You're going against your own pick.
Who-
You're giving
who
arguments
right
against your
now.
own pick.
I'm telling you right now, I'd say more than half of this list hasn't even played a snap
The
in the
whole
NFL.
point of
yet.
this list is projection.
You think 2 to 3 quarterbacks?
Why don't you
haven't played
understand?
snap?
I say 2 to 3 quarterbacks.
I mean, you could
are
look
right
at
now
Tua.
training somewhere.
Tua was going to be one of mine, but I don't know. His injuries might.
Fuck Tua.
I don't know.
Here we go.
You really aren't going to like Tua?
No.
Did you like Tua in college?
I was all right. I didn't have a strong
Tua's
opinion
not
on
very
him.
good quarterback.
You seem to have a strong hatred of Tua.
Because I don't like how he's being gassed. How he is.
I mean, he's
Gas.
a
he shattered his hip.
he's
man.
a Dolphin.
Yeah, he's fine
He
now.
shattered
Jets
his
fan.
hip. He's going to a shitty franchise.
What are you talking
They're
about?
a better franchise than the Jets.
Jets are a shitty franchise. They're both shitty.
Overall,
franchises.
the Dolphins are a better.
He is not gonna.
franchise.
He's not gonna live up to his draft status.
Would you rather have Tua or Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold?
You know,
I don't know.
I
That's
will-
close.
I will second
I'm a big
that.
Sam guy too.
I'm
but that's
not.
close.
I'm not. Sam Darnold's not shown me anything since he's gotten to the league.
What?
Recently. He had
Name
two
name
good
a worse
games
situation
2 years ago.
than in what he's been in.
What are you talking about? This last year, he went 7-1.
He's
in his last
he's
8
had
games?
multiple. He has had way
Oh
more
my
better
God,
games. He's had
let's-
better
and
flashes
who's on
than
his
Josh Allen
offense?
has.
Okay, Josh Allen. I'm
Josh
not a
Allen,
Josh
and he gets
Allen
he
fan.
gets hyper on the league. Josh Allen.
From
He
D-Rod.
gets
That's about it.
praised.
All right.
They sing songs about Josh Allen on ESPN.
ESPN just wants to talk about the Bills because nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Pablo
you
Hernandez. This is an alcohol-free show. He's a mango white claw.
Why is it so warm? I'll have it after the show. Thanks, bro.
Oh, you might need it for this next segment we're gonna do.
Let's
Yeah.
see.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, there are no sports going on right now, so of course it's a little tough to plan a sports podcast around that. We've been doing it for a couple of weeks, but now we're gonna move our focus to something that we should have done a long time ago, and that is teaching Pablo Hernandez the sport of football, so he can be more informed to make predictions for you this coming season, if there is a season. So, Pablo, this week's question presented by Mock Gaming, maybe one of multiple questions depending on how long you take to do this one. I want to know if you know which teams have not won a Super Bowl. There are
Jets.
12 teams that have not won a
Yeah,
Super
I
Bowl.
think you get a couple.
Dan, what's the over and under of teams he'll get?
3 strikes.
3 strikes.
I'm gonna go 5.5.
5.5. I will take the under.
4.5. The line is
No,
changed.
the line has changed.
I locked in my vote.
Zonak, will you take the under or the over? You're going to take the
Actually,
over.
no, 4.5.
Put your phone down.
Look. I'm gonna go look at the teams. Okay.
Go on
Just go on
ESPN.
ESPN,
Go on
yeah.
the ESPN app.
Yeah, go to NFL.
ESPN, free shout out here, as if they need the free advertising.
Relax. Look.
Just think, Pablo. Please think. I'm gonna take the over. I'm 5.5.
You're
Please
taking the
think.
over.
Well, I would, if the line I think
The
changed
under
to 4.5
cashed
right after there was
big
2
time.
bets. I think I would take the over at 4.5.
Zonak, you got a black cherry in that box?
Mango,
Ew.
watermelon,
Gross. Watermelon. Lemon. This
What do you
man's
have?
got the new
What do you have?
flavors.
What do you have for me?
Throw me a lemon.
Nah, lemon was actually pretty.
We're
good.
getting fun on the Before
They're
the Score
warm.
podcast this
They're
week.
warm. Pretty good.
Okay.
All right, put the phone on the table so we know you're not
toss me a
cheating.
Chef's choice.
All right. So
I'm good.
the White Claws are opened. Pablo, toasts to this segment.
Lemon's the worst one.
I never had it.
It's gross.
Tangerine. Give me tangerine.
It's
man.
so warm.
Yeah, lemon is all right. This is warm. You're right. Pablo, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Andrew, is everybody ready here?
Clap it up.
All right, so I gotta get
You get
6.
3 strikes. You gotta get
For me,
12.
you gotta get 5.
You gotta get
Tastes like
over
a
5
tangerine.
for Dan.
Okay. I'm starting it off here. With the
look
Tampa
at-
Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa Buccaneers
It's
have
an X.
won a Super Bowl.
Oh man, they won in 2003, I believe.
That is an
baby.
X. They've
Yeah.
defeated the Oakland
2002?
Raiders.
2003.
I
I'm
believe it was
going with the
2002.
Carolina Panthers.
Carolina Panthers have not won a
Fire.
Super Bowl.
There we
so
go.
there's one.
Okay.
Wait, just look.
Yeah, you can take your time here.
Yeah, just look and think.
Dan
man.
still has to think of another
You shouldn't
question
give
for
him
you.
the list of the teams. He can't even name all 32
No,
teams.
no, it's better that he
That's
sees the
next
teams
week's
for this.
question.
I'm going with the Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns have not won a Super
Attaboy,
Bowl.
Pablo.
Pablo Hernandez, 2.
That's good thinking,
out-
right
shout out
there.
2 right,
Brown.
1 wrong.
Man, this is kind of tough. This is
I
kind of
mean,
tough.
you know, some teams on that list obviously have won a Super Bowl.
I mean, I'm going to go with this and shout out to my main man, Danny Rodriguez. I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Good
Shout
man.
out Danny Rodriguez. The Chargers have not won a Super Bowl.
That's
Sorry,
three.
you have a poverty franchise.
Yep, that's 3. There you go, Pab.
Pablo is on fire. The line was 5.5. Needs 3 more.
Okay. All right. So
You got 1X.
I'm also gonna go, and I'm gonna go down south. I'm gonna go to a
How
team.
far south?
Yeah, let's see how far south he tries to go here.
I'm gonna go to a team that
far
should have
south?
won a few years ago and got screwed in the fourth quarter. I'm gonna go with the Atlanta Falcons.
The Atlanta Falcons did get screwed, and they have not won a
Attaboy.
Super Bowl. They've been to 2.
Good job going that far
Pablo's
south.
got 4. He didn't go that far south. That was not that south.
Yeah. That's,
I'm also gonna go
you got 4.
to the nation's capital, and I'm gonna go to the Washington
Oh.
Redskins.
No, that's your worst
no.
guess yet. The Redskins have won 3 Super Bowls.
3 Super Bowls.
Okay.
They have been terrible in your lifetime.
You have 2
though.
strikes and 4 teams.
So you're getting there. You're close.
Just
you need
look.
one more?
Just look. Just think.
So this is for the Marble. No, we set it at 4.5.
man.
Okay, so
I said over.
is it? Is he at 4 right
He's
now or
at
3?
4.
Okay, so he needs.
No, you got the Falcons, the Browns, the Chargers. Okay. And who was the first one?
What we said is.
Who was your first one you got? Browns, Falcons,
I said-
Chargers.
He said one more.
No, yeah, he said he has 4.
Panthers.
Panthers.
Yeah, okay. Let's hear your next
This is
one.
for all the marbles.
Come on,
Come
Pablo.
on. Use
Think,
your
man.
use your head, man.
Use your brain.
Use that big
Use
noggin
that
of
big
yours.
brain.
Yeah,
Yeah. Please.
like the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, you got it.
As much as that pains me to clap.
So
Good
what do you
man.
get, 5
Good job.
there?
He's got 5.
You need one more, and the
Full
over
clap.
will hit.
Wow.
I'm sure that's.
I've
what
never clapped for
all
the
our
Vikings
listeners
never
want to
winning a
hear.
Super Bowl.
All right, I gotta go with it because it just keeps looking at me.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Correct. The Cincinnati Bengals have not won a Super
The
Bowl.
over hits. The over
The
hits.
over hits.
Yeah, now the
Pablo
over hits.
shocks
You
the world,
suck.
and he needs 6 more teams with 1 strike left.
You got
Oh,
one
man.
strike left.
Cincinnati Bengals
There's
made
nothing to
1
lose
Super
now,
Bowl.
man.
Okay,
No, there's
You got the
everything
over.
to lose.
You got the
these
over.
guys have all they've won. I know for sure they've won.
Say who won. Just say it out
No.
loud.
Let's hear it.
Just we won't tell you if you're right or wrong, but just say it out loud.
I know this team was good back in the day, but I'm not sure if they won before. And I'm going to be honest, I've never seen this team win, but I know they were in the Super Bowl
You haven't
against.
seen a lot of teams win.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
majority
I'm
of
going to
the teams
say
haven't
the
seen
Arizona Cardinals.
The Arizona Cardinals have not won a
There
Super
you
Bowl.
go.
Pablo's at 7.
Okay.
And if your prediction on Kyler Murray is correct, they will not win a Super Bowl with him
Okay.
either.
So
They did lose in 2010, 2009,
Pittsburgh Steelers,
No,
2009.
2010
9?
season.
It was after the Giants.
well,
won
the
Super
Saints.
Bowl.
When was the
Well,
Saints
9
Super Bowl?
was Saints
versus.
Yeah. 09 was Saints Colts. 10 was
No.
Packers Steelers.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
we're talking
Those
about
are
the
2 years-
Cardinals Steelers.
I'm talking about the 2 Super
2008?
Bowls for
No, that's-
2009
it was
and
the-
2010. Because those are the 2 years the Jets
Well,
made
it's
the
different
playoffs.
years with the Super Bowl.
What team are you talking about?
The Super Bowl.
The Giants beat the Patriots, then the
2007.
Steelers beat the Cardinals.
hey,
Yes, it was,
hey,
before that.
you guys are
said
throwing me off
2009.
here.
At 2008 then.
Well,
Okay.
2008 season.
yeah, so I'm talking about the season, not the
Super
I'm gonna
Bowl.
go-
not the date. I
Go
know.
ahead.
I'm going to go to the West.
We're sorry for the
And,
disruption.
and I'm going to go
Or
Midwest.
Midwest.
Oh, don't do that.
And I'm going to go
don't do it.
I'm going to go to Tennessee.
City.
Tennessee Titans.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean,
Alright.
That's not
That's
Midwest.
not Midwest.
That's more
Midwest.
Mideast. But yes, the Tennessee Titans have
Yes.
never won a Super Bowl. Pablo, you are on fire.
Wow.
Can he pull off this gauntlet run?
There's one like obvious one I feel like, but I don't know.
yes, you're right.
I don't know.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville Jaguars. Shout
That
out
was gonna be
Tony
your
Khan.
first
wasn't
That
even
is
my obvious one.
But it was obvious. They've
That
never
one is
been to a
obvious.
Super Bowl.
Okay, so how many more do I need?
Three more. There's one obvious one, in my
Oh.
opinion.
Man, this is really. No, it's
Poverty
obvious.
franchise.
And I know exactly what you're talking about.
Think local.
no,
No, don't think local.
don't think local.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but
It's a poverty franchise.
I'm afraid to say it. I know exactly what you're thinking, but I'm afraid
know if you
to
do.
say it. I'm afraid to say the Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears have won a Super
You see?
Bowl.
That's what I said.
The
Greatest
Lions.
defense of all
Defense of all
time.
time.
Local
Come on, man.
Lions.
No, I didn't say local.
Okay,
I said
so
he
teams you
said
missed.
local.
The Houston Texans,
Oh, I was going to say that.
the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
And what was the other team you missed? Let me see your phone. You missed the Texans, the Lions, and the Bills. I think that was it.
Bills. Oh wait, yeah,
They
Bills
never
are
won
0-4.
one. Yeah, so I think you.
4 in a row they
I think
lost.
besides that, you were good.
I mean, I looked at all of them, of course, but the Bears, I knew that they were good at one point.
Yep, they won one Super Bowl and
They
they've
did
been
good
doing
Bears.
one more.
All right, so what else you got for me?
All right, let's do the opposite side of the spectrum. Let's go
There we
down
go.
from the teams who've won the most Super Bowls Do you think you can guess that?
No.
How many teams?
We'll just go till you get 3 wrong.
Yeah, but what's the most Super Bowls? Like, what do you
6.
consider the most?
The teams that have won the most Super Bowls.
Yeah, what team has won the most Super Bowls?
Okay.
No.
He's looking at
just
the
look
list
at the
again.
same thing.
Yeah, he
That's
is.
what I'm doing.
All right. So
The Patriots.
wait. I'll tell you how many they won, and then you tell me.
Okay.
All right. So who won 6 Super Bowls? You obviously got 1. That's 6.
The Patriots.
There
And
you
who's
go.
the other team?
Okay.
Let me think.
Think West Coast.
Stop. Don't
Zonak,
listen to
Zonak,
Andrew.
if you get it wrong, Zonak has a chance to steal.
Yeah, Zonak does have a chance to steal.
He's only has a chance
Don't look on
to
your
cash
phone.
in the money in the bank.
Yep.
Who on the?
Very good
Who
franchise.
is
How about West
tied
Coast?
with the New England Patriots?
Think Ohio.
Don't
Stop.
Zonak.
What?
You're just confusing him.
Shh.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey,
Good
correct.
man.
Yeah.
Good
You thought-
man.
you thought
Pittsburgh
Ravens?
Steelers 6,
You thought
along
Ravens?
with the Patriots. So we move
Said
down the
Broncos.
list. 2 teams have won 5 Super Bowls. Can you name them?
Jesus. 2 teams with 5 Super Bowls. Oh, it's definitely not the Jets. I'll tell you that
Think
right
local. The other local team.
now. I'm gonna go. Man, 5 Super Bowls is a lot. Definitely not them because they just won their first one in the Eagles. It's so funny.
Don't listen to Andrew when he says think local or West Coast. Just
Yeah,
ignore
Andrew
that.
is sabotaging you.
He's trying to sabotage you. Yes.
Fucking not.
Teams with 5.
This is a.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go out west,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna say the Oakland Raiders.
No.
The Oakland
man.
Raiders
Brother.
are incorrect.
How many have they
Think
won?
Jared Walsh.
They have 3.
I was pretty close.
Think Jared.
Um,
Am I right,
you're
Steve?
2 Super Bowls off. Yeah.
Jared Walsh.
Yeah, you know that, right?
You should know that. I'd hope you know that.
Ooh.
Oh wait, Zonak, you get a chance to steal.
That's a pretty big game.
Well, he knows who Jared
Okay,
likes.
just say it then.
49.
Zonak, 1 correct. You're
Wow,
tied.
you're
You
getting
don't have your
ass
mic
kicked.
on?
Zonak says the 49ers.
Oh, you never hooked it up?
Pablo,
Sad.
there's another team with 5. Can you beat Zonak? Outthink the Z-Man.
5 is a lot, bro.
Why are you looking at me?
5 is a lot. And I'm gonna stay with that same San Francisco theme,
Oh, the other San Francisco team.
and I'm gonna say the New York Giants.
The New York Giants. I wish they had 5. They have 4.
They have 4.
Zonak, you have a chance to
You
steal.
want to know something? I don't like this question. I don't like.
It
this
is a hard question because you got to go in order.
Can Zonak get it? This is, honestly, 5 is pretty
honestly, you
easy,
should have
though.
given me the teams. You should have
think
given me
Sal.
like I don't know.
The Dallas Cowboys have 5 Super Bowls. Did you know that, Zonak?
No, he said think Sal. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so Pablo, we'll try one more. Can you name the other team besides the Giants with 4 Super Bowls?
I hate it here. I'm gonna say the. I'm gonna say the Green Bay Packers.
Correct.
Okay.
Good job.
think down south. Think gumbo.
I just
What?
got it correct.
Yeah, you already answered.
Or 3.
How many Super Bowls do the Saints have?
The Saints have 2 Super
They have
Bowls.
1.
I know that.
How about the Lions?
Hmm?
The Lions, how many do they have? You said we didn't get you.
0.
Broncos won 3, right?
Yes, the Broncos won 3. Dan, do you got a question for Pablo?
No, I don't got anything.
We gotta teach him football. We gotta give him something else here.
I mean-
we can't let him go off this easy.
Let me get something else. Honestly, why can't we have
like a baseball trivia
baseball
question?
trivia
Yeah,
week.
so
Alright,
you could get it.
Name
and then-
name the 10 Yankees retired numbers. Go.
10.
Okay.
The first 10.
Okay.
The single or the
Okay.
first 9. the single
Billy
digits.
Martin, number 1. Number 2, Derek Jeter. Number 3, Babe Ruth. Number 4, Lou Gehrig. Number 5.
Heard you do this like a week ago.
What?
I heard you do this like last weekend. So you better get this.
Stop. Number 5, Joe DiMaggio. Number 6, Joe Torre. Number 7, Mickey Mantle. Number 8, Yogi Berra. Number 8, Bill Dickey. Number 9, Roger Maris. Number 10, you got Phil Rizzuto. So,
Yeah, that was so fun
All right,
for our listeners.
So
to
Pablo,
listen to.
Pablo knows his
I have to throw
baseball
him a bone.
trivia. Yeah.
On the MLB website.
Wow. Okay.
Who was the first switch hitter elected to the Hall of Fame?
Who was the first switch hitter elected to the Hall of Fame? Question from Zonak.
I mean, when you think of switch hitters, the first
not
one,
Mickey
the
Mantle.
first one that comes to mind is Mickey Mantle.
There's
but,
definitely some
but
before that.
Mickey Mantle was
1947.
Yeah, it's way before that.
first switch hitter, 1947. Let's see. I think the Mick was still playing in 1947. Definitely not him.
Pee Wee Reese.
Pee Wee Reese was a right-handed hitter. I'm gonna go switch hitter. 1947. It's gotta be.
Elected 1947.
What team?
It's gotta be Yagi head.
Who?
It's gotta be some kind of Yagi head.
All right, can we get an answer here?
1947.
Yeah, it's
Zonak, who was it?
Frankie Frisch.
You thought that we were gonna get Frankie Fritsch. You think that asking him a question from 1947 was the best idea to go?
Who was the last
Frankie
player?
Frisch, Froggy
No,
Fresh.
I got a
don't
question.
know, man.
Pablo, I want to see if you can. How many of the current NFL head coaches you can name? 32. How many do you think he can get? What's the over/under here?
12.5.
No, less than that.
Really?
I would put the over/under at 7.5.
I think I'll go over.
I'm taking the under.
Actually, yeah, I'll go over.
I'll go over 7.5.
I'm
over
taking the
7.5.
under.
All right, you got 5 minutes though.
Okay.
Clock starts now.
I'm gonna go to the Giants, and I'm gonna go with Joe Judge.
That's one.
The Eagles, I'm gonna go with McCarthy.
Wrong.
What?
Are you okay, man?
Wait.
Don't tell him who's
Wait,
your
wait,
coach.
Strike one.
Wait.
Can't tell you who the coaches are.
Stop.
When you get wrong.
Stop.
What?
Strike one.
I could also stop.
Nah, he's got this. He's got
Stop.
Oh, McCarthy's for the Cowboys. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Okay, so
Two.
you get two now.
I'm
One
sorry.
strike.
Can I fix myself? Okay. I have one strike.
You said the Eagles were
I'm sorry.
McCarthy.
I just mixed up, but I fixed it. Okay, so that's true.
You're already going to the other side now? Oh, man.
Why are you starting with Mike McCarthy?
For the Steelers, I got my boy, Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
Okay.
Please don't say anything else you know for sure.
3.
Jets, Adam Gase is
Four.
Gaze.
Gaze.
Interesting. Okay. What the hell is this guy's name? Oh,
Switch, dude.
oh, I know this guy's name.
There's
name.
an obvious one. We were
He
just
is-
talking about.
All rise.
He already said Joe Judge.
Oh, did he?
Oh, Bill Belichick for
Yep.
the Patriots.
5, thank you.
Why do you have
this
on the
is
field
good.
camera?
What the hell is
Why do
this
you have it
guy's
on the field
name? He's Mike Harbaugh for the Ravens.
Mike
Mike
Harbaugh.
Harbaugh.
I don't know if we can give you that.
Did I say instead his brother's name?
No.
John Harbaugh.
Oh, John Harbaugh. There you go.
Mike Harbaugh doesn't exist.
I don't think that's a strike. I think that's close enough.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give you the correct,
6.
but you don't deserve that.
Mike Harbaugh. He doesn't.
He doesn't.
Man,
The
this,
Saints are very easy.
man, this is tough.
The Chiefs are very easy.
I know Andy Reid, Chiefs. There you go.
There you go.
Do I need another one to?
You gotta keep going.
Well, you 8 with 2 strikes, so go ahead, Jerry Rivera.
So you hit the over?
You know what's
Yeah.
funny? I know.
Yeah, because Dan gave him easy.
Look, I know
What?
I know what the guy from the Rams looks like, and he looks like in my head. I can picture him.
What does he look like?
What does he look like?
He looks like Josh Donaldson.
Not really.
I don't. Yeah, that's kind of.
He doesn't have
off.
slick back hair.
He's
like
real
that.
young. He's real young.
Yeah.
He's young looking.
Okay.
But I
SV or S. Jesus. SM.
Sean McIntosh,
SM.
South Brunswick High School head coach.
Please just pick some coach. Get this over with.
Yeah. You got 1 minute, but
You
you already hit it.
Come on.
I'm gonna go with
Just, come on. You're about to be like in Family Feud, where if you don't have it in time, you're about to get the X, bro.
I don't know.
You don't know. You can't even guess one more coach.
I don't.
Yeah, you get the X, bro.
I get the X.
You get the X. You got 8.
What was that guy's
8
name?
out of 32. You got
Sean
25%.
Sean McVay.
You got
I know it.
25%.
That's not bad.
I can't believe you said
That's
Jerry
failing, bro.
Rivera, though.
Jerry
What's his
Rivera,
name?
that
Ron
one.
Rivera?
Ron.
Riverboat Ron.
Like
Mike Harbaugh.
Mike Harbaugh,
Mike Harbaugh.
Jerry Rivera.
Jeez.
You were very
Jerry
confident in Mike
Garoppolo.
Harbaugh.
That was rough, man. That was rough.
The Eagles, McCarthy. Who's the Eagles head coach?
Why was that like your second guess, too? Oh, Joe Judge. Oh, Eagles. Mike McCarthy.
No, he didn't even say Mike. He just
You
said
said
McCarthy.
Doug Peterson.
But you know what? I got him. I got the Eagles and the Cowboys mixed up.
Who's the Eagles coach?
Yeah, they're very similar teams.
I just said it.
I know you did, but I don't think I heard you.
What is it?
Doug Peterson.
Yeah, so obvious.
He won a
He
Super
won a
Bowl
Super Bowl,
like
bro.
3 years ago.
I'll tell you what, guys. You guys come to me with some real
tell you
questions, and I'll
what,
give you some real
guys.
answers. That's all I gotta say.
What would be a real question?
I got a good question. Pablo happened last year.
Not again. Not another
All
question,
right.
this is
man.
gonna
Zonak is bringing you another question from
Is
the
it going to be this
from
like
40s.
millennia?
Which team had the best record through the first 60 games of the 2019 season?
Did you? Okay, let me say that again for our listeners. Which team had the best record through the 2019 season, the first half of the 2019 season?
I have a good inclination.
Brother.
Oh, I know this.
New York Yankees.
Nope.
Nope.
Houston Astros.
Incorrect.
Nope.
Incorrect.
Tampa Bay Rays.
The Rays.
Rays,
What are we talking about here?
Who's
dude.
had the best record through his first 60 games of the 2019 season?
Was it
You're
the
0 for
Dodgers?
3. Yeah,
Oh, is it why did I think Dodgers?
Why'd you say Rays?
Rays.
I don't know, man. I'm having a brain fart. It's just White Claw, bro.
Weren't like the Phillies really good in the first half?
Kinda. They were in
the first
the
like 2 months.
division
They,
lead.
They weren't
had
really
the
good, but they
best
were there.
record. In the first like 2 months,
They were
had the best
better
record.
than the rest.
They
but-
were there.
Yeah.
How did you guess the Rays before the Dodgers?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why.
That was kind of
When you're put on the spot, you say stupid things.
you
Ask
would
stupid
know all
questions,
about
get stupid
that.
answers. Z.
That's it. I mean, if you guys have any other questions for me,
That's it.
I would love to answer them.
Can we get
Can we
one
get,
more
can we get
football
more, for our next
question
week's
Pablo?
show for the listeners? Can we get more questions like directed
Directed
at Pablo?
for football trivia, please.
Yes, we need more football trivia questions.
It
I
doesn't
need
only
one
have to
more
be
before
football.
we end the show.
You guys can give me any sport.
You're not gonna get anything about NHL, man.
You don't think so?
No,
What
I
about-
know so.
Who won last year's Stanley Cup?
Come on, bro. The Capitals, dude.
Wrong. That was 2 years ago.
Dude.
St. Louis Blues.
Oh, I knew that.
You did not know that.
Oh, I knew that. That was gonna be my next guess.
No, it wasn't.
No.
All right,
It
who
was.
won the President's Trophy this year?
He doesn't know what the President's Trophy
Who had the
is.
best record in the league?
What
this
is the
year?
President's Trophy?
The Boston Bruins.
Oh,
Oh, wow, you got it right.
wow. I'm surprised.
You know what? I like hockey, and honestly, I would love to get involved with it. It's just not something that I keep up with.
Big Leafs fan, right?
But I think that hockey is awesome. I've been to like 4 hockey games live.
Best live sport.
It's amazing.
I wouldn't go that far to say it's the best live sport.
I think it would.
I mean,
think we
I
think
still like football
football?
live better.
I think baseball is the best environment.
Yeah.
I think NHL
I think
is
football
most
live is just kind
entertaining
of,
to watch.
I don't know. I'm gonna say it's kind of boring only because you can't see half the action on the field. And I don't know.
Well, it's just not as fast paced as hockey is.
It's not. It's very.
If
slow.
you can like,
There's too many
if you can
timeouts.
keep up with the puck in hockey, it's like the most entertaining.
If you keep
to
up with the
watch.
puck, bro, the puck like
if
on
you're
TV,
like if
it's
you're sitting
ridiculous.
like close to the rink in hockey, it's crazy.
I've sat real close, and it's like
Being up on the glass is wild.
it was like one of the craziest games I had ever seen. It was crazy because my brother and I went to the game, and I was sitting. You know, like when you go to a game and you move over seats because you don't want to be, on top of the person you went with. So I went with my brother, and I moved over a few seats, and then these people came by, and we thought they were going to sit in our seats that we moved into, and they didn't. So we moved over, and the seat that I was just in, I want to say 10 minutes into the game, a puck flew into the stands and landed right in that seat. You can't make it up. The things that happened to me.
No, you have bad luck in going to
Papa,
sporting
what was the
events.
best live sports game you've been to? Was it with the Mets pop up? You're at that game, right?
Oof, that was a great game. That was a good game live. I would say the Ibanez game. The Ibanez
fire game.
where he tied the game in the 9th, and then he walked it off against the Orioles in the playoffs. That was a great game. The Didi game in the wild card game was
Yeah, you were there for that.
fantastic.
I forgot about that. That game was
No,
stupid.
let's talk about the biggest blunder you've ever had at a sporting event. And
Marlins
let's
game?
tell the story of Pablo's
Jacob the
day at the Marlins Mets game with the wrong game and the hobo.
Okay.
So why don't you take it from there?
All right, so I'm going to tell the story.
Before we end the
Listen
show.
up, because I'm only going to tell it once, and you guys could rewind if you missed something. All right, so I get texted about a game. They're like, "Hey, Pablo, we understand you hate the Mets. We understand you're a giant Yankee fan, but do you want to come to the Mets-Marlins game?" I'm like, you know what? Baseball, Mets-Marlins. I'm a stupid little kid who works at Texas Roadhouse. I have nothing else to do. Yeah, I'll go to the game. So we're on the train. I buy the ticket, right? I'm like, okay, $6. Psst, man, you guys are stupid for paying regular price for these tickets. We pull up to the gate, and you guys get in. I'm trying to scan my tickets. The guy looks at the ticket. He says, "Whoa, this would be good if it were the ticket for the right game." And this guy shows me the ticket, and he's like, "Look, this is for tomorrow's game, bud. I don't know what you Yankee fans think this is, but you're not getting in here unless you have a ticket for today's game."
He points at everyone else in the group. He goes, "You guys enjoy the game. You walk around the stadium, buy a new ticket."
So I look at him. I'm like, "Come on, man. You can't do something for me." He's like, "No, bro. I can't do nothing for you."
Do something.
No, but
So-
you left out the best part. Is the guy taking his ticket, scanned his ticket. We say, "What's wrong? Why are you not letting him in?" He's like, "I would let him in." Of course, he takes a dramatic pause, looks around the whole stadium, looks at us, looks at Pablo, looks back and forth, goes, "But he has a ticket for tomorrow night's game, of course." Now
So
back to the story.
anyway, So I go and I buy a ticket. Very annoying. And the more annoying part was the next game Jacob deGrom was pitching, which is, I kind of wish he was pitching at the game we went to.
Trivia real quick. Who was pitching that game? Do you have any idea?
Is either Mats or Cologne?
No, not even close.
No, it's not even close. It was somebody goofy.
Yep. You're on the right track.
Oh my God, this guy was so goofy.
He was goofy. Former Baltimore Oriole.
Brother.
Do you want me to say it?
Yes.
Jason Verrett.
I was
the Verrett game.
I don't know how you
That
remember
game.
that. I don't know how you remember that.
And real quick, who was the fourth one at that game? Me, you, Andrew, and who? You could have known who it was, right?
Me, you, wasn't it Dan?
No,
B.
don't you think he would know the story?
Starts with a B.
Oh, Blarone. Yeah.
Shout out Blarone.
So anyway, so then we're on our way home, and we're chilling. I got one of those Mets cups. I didn't really care for it. So
You had 2 Italian sausages.
oh my God. I mean,
Best part of City Field, right?
I'm not going to say. I'll
premium
tell you something
sausage,
about the Mets,
fire.
right? I'm not the biggest Met fan, but their food is incredible. I will never knock Citi Field food. It is
Citi Field
amazing.
in general.
It is amazing. Their food is incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, that's number one. They get my praises forever. So we're on the train home, and we're sitting down, and I'm not sure what station we got onto. It might have been Newark. And this weird dude comes onto the train, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, you guys?" He sees all of us. We're all wearing our baseball stuff. You guys are obviously wearing your Mets gear. Oh, you guys are from the game? Yeah. Oh, who won the game? And, he sits right next to us. And Andrew and I are sitting right next to each other, and we're like, here we go. This freak is going to start asking us questions.
You're in a 4-seater with the hobo.
So we're in a 4-seater with this idiot. And he keeps asking us stupid questions. He's like, oh, what's your name? I'm like, oh, my name. I don't want to tell him my name was Pablo, so I came up with an alias. I said my name was Felix. Shout out to my boy Felix.
What jersey
Fernandez.
were you wearing that game?
King Felix?
I think he was wearing a jersey.
Oh, were you not wearing the Felix jersey?
No. I think I was. I'm not sure. I can go to the footage. But anyway, so I was, he was like, oh, what's your name? I said, oh, my name is Felix. He's like, oh, okay, Felix. So what do you do? And then I came up with this whole giant story about, I wasn't from the area, but we were going up north, but I worked in Philly, and I was a pizza man, and my dad owned a pizza shop.
Your dad owned the pizza shop and named you Felix because that's the most Italian name you could think of.
That's the most Italian name you could think of. And this guy, he had some nice kicks on, but he was a straight bum. He was a straight off the street. He was trying to sell us some, weird scented candles, and I wasn't feeling it. So this guy, he's like, hey, man, that's a nice cup. I'm like, nice cup? You want it? Here, take it. So the whole time I'm thinking, this guy's harassing myself and Andrew. Andrew's letting me do all the talking. I'm like, why
Took
don't
the reins on that one. Don't give me that.
why don't we just get out of the cart and try to go into another cart? But nobody else had the smart idea, but this guy was harassing us the whole way. The only thing I remember was when we pulled up to the South Amboy train station, we booked it because we thought this guy was following us, and I just remember that was one of the scariest moments that I had ever had up to that point.
Hold on a second because I want to go back to this. Pablo, you said you were the only one with a smart idea to move seats, right?
Nobody else wanted to move.
So your other smart ideas that night included buying a ticket to the wrong game, telling the guy your name was Felix, saying you worked at a pizzeria in Delaware and you're getting off in South Amboy. What other smart ideas did you have that day? I mean, you were just chock full of them.
What was so scary about a homeless guy on a train talking to you?
He did take his shoes off too.
He took his shoes off.
Look, he's lonely. He just wants to talk to
No,
someone.
no, no.
Tell us how he eats shampoo or something.
Oh my God! I don't even want to get to that story. It's
I
very
can't defend
R-rated.
a man that
It's very
eats shampoo.
R-rated, but just the way,
Oh yeah, it was alright.
just the way this guy was talking to a bunch of young adults, it was very, very strange.
Adults.
And also, when you're thinking of this, picture this in your head. Andrew and Pablo, they were sitting next to each other in a 4-seater like a couple of weirdos anyway, because I don't know what the hell they were doing in that seat. But the homeless guy laid down in the other seat. They were close. They were like touching knees that close.
The reason,
we
the
were
reason why
getting our
we
leg
were
room
across from each other,
in the 4-seater.
and this guy
then
sat right next to Andrew. So then he moved and sat right next to
next
me.
to
he
him,
like
and he
dove
was
in,
laying down.
and then he started laying down.
So,
So honestly, I
mind
think
you, the whole train is empty. He could have picked any aisle, any seat. He purposely sat with us and made it from 2 people in a 4-seater, which is very comfortable. Plenty of legroom.
Mm-hmm.
Third person gets a little bit uncomfortable, and when there was 40 other seats he could sit in, a little bit suspect.
and I was crying the whole time. I'll never forget. He points at me and goes, "What the hell is he laughing about?"
And I was like,
And
hey, man, hey, man, he's
has
cool.
his phone on
Yeah.
his lap recording the whole thing.
I wish I had still had the video. I might have to check.
I have
Hey,
the
we were
video still.
close.
You
we
had
were
the video?
close to getting our
Please
asses
send it to me.
kicked.
Please send it to me.
And-
It was so
yeah,
funny.
but the video doesn't do it
No,
justice.
it does not.
No, you had to be there, but I have to hear it. I just have
It's just
to hear
like the video it makes it, you can understand how uncomfortable it was from the video, but that's about it.
it. Super uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was a tough night, tough day for Pablo. Expensive day, buying 2 tickets to 2 games.
I mean, I think I spent a combined, $30-40 on the tickets.
And then you spent like $30-40 on the Italian sausages.
Well, their food is really good, you know.
I'll never
City
forget.
Field, top 5 to 10 stadium in baseball.
I couldn't tell you because I haven't been to all stadiums, but I'm not sure where it's at. I believe it's
But you get people who go to like every stadium and say that City Field's one of the better ones.
Especially
it's a
for
top
food.
They had a
Especially for food.
steak sandwich. Oh my!
Pat LaFreida's.
I think it was. Oh my gosh, it was incredible.
And they got Shake Shack there, which is fire.
Well, I don't care for Shake Shack, but this steak sandwich was fantastic.
You probably never gotten it there because the line's always out the damn
Yeah,
door.
It's crazy.
I got it the first
Just
time,
don't get the
first
corn
year,
dog
me and
there.
my dad went, and then I never gotten it since because there's lines ridiculous.
I've
Do
done
you
it
know what
like
I think?
5 times.
Do you know where they
You've been
messed
waiting
up
for
at?
40 minutes.
I
Nah,
thought,
I go to the shitty games.
If anything, I thought the Pepsi Porch was a cool name. The Coca-Cola Corner is very dull. It's a very lame name.
Okay, well, you obviously have never been to the Coca-Cola corner. 'cause
We
the
did.
Pepsi porch.
We sat in the
Fire
Coca-Cola
seats.
corner.
We sat in the Pepsi porch.
No, in
Pepsi-
the Coca-Cola Corner.
Dude, we
I saw
literally
that
did
the
not sit in
Coca-Cola corner on Bark in the Park.
Did
night,
we?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, the Coca-Cola corner has the cool little seats. They have the lounge area.
You have your
I
own like,
personally,
concessions and
Virtual
everything.
Yes.
baseball swing.
Personally, I want it to be called the
Cornhole.
Coca-Cola Cabana.
That was an option. I was pissed they didn't go with
It was
that.
an option?
Could have put
Yeah.
some hammocks in there. You know, that would have been pretty sick.
Well, I'm checking the footage, but I can't really find it right now.
Pepsi
What?
porch was good times too.
It was just a better name. It was very creative. You get what
And
I'm saying?
also, I'm a big Pepsi fan. Coca-Cola.
Well, Coke
ain't
is better
the
than
stuff.
Pepsi, that's
Okay,
number
you're
one.
wrong. You're wrong.
But the Coca-Cola sign looks like pretty good in the in that
But he's
corner.
wrong because it's not. Coke is not better than Pepsi. Pepsi better than Coke.
Yeah.
And Zonak, would you agree? Are you kidding
Thank you.
me?
Thank you. Coke is a very stronger taste.
Mountain Dew is your favorite soda. You don't like Pepsi products? Come on.
I can't even show myself.
Pepsi is better than Coke. and I
Just
will
a
take
quick
it to
shout
the
out. Zonak
grave.
is bleeding.
Oh
Yes.
no, he is bleeding. Producer Zonak is bleeding.
That's how,
We better get him.
That's how you know it's summer when his
We
leg
gotta
starts
get him
bleeding.
some medical attention. So I think we have to end episode 29 of Before the Score because I think
Sadly.
Zonak has to go to the hospital.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. This is a very fun show, and by next week, I just hope to get better questions.
Better question.
about we
You
get
got
some
him all
better
wrong.
answers?
Another thing, guys. I want you guys to help us. We wanna help expand this channel. We want to get the most followers, the most kind of We just want this Before the Score thing to really take off. So if you guys can share us, like us, do whatever the hell you have to do, but we really need your support. And if you guys watch this, or if you know somebody who watches this, just kind of share us. Just kind of get us out there.
Yeah, what he said. You kind of took exactly what I was gonna say and just made it that much better. He Pablo-nized
Yes.
by saying. So episode 29, thank you for joining us, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy your Friday, enjoy your Saturday, whatever day you're watching us, and follow us. Do whatever Pablo just said. So episode 29.